When Ryder returned to the warehouse, sweaty and confused from his run, he walked over to the table and threw his backpack and an empty water bottle on it. He was halfway through his second apple when he reached the staircase heading back upstairs, held the apple in his mouth as he started to peel off the tank top. When he reached the upper level, he kicked off his shoes and then slammed against the wall, and tossed his shirt into a trash bag filled with a bunch of other clothes leaning against the wall. He then walked over to an old dresser and pulled out a white button-down shirt, black tie, black pants, and black socks. He took his new outfit and walked into the bathroom, the sound of the shower ringing through the pipes of the building. After 10 minutes, the bathroom door was opened. Ryder walked out in his new formal outfit, his hair styled so it didn't look like he rolled out of bed, and he then ran down the stairs and grabbed his backpack. But he also grabbed a black duffel bag. He unzipped the bag and pulled out his black dress shoes and a belt. He also checked to make sure that his hoodie and jacket were in there too. And they were. So he smiled and put the remainder of his uniform on and headed out the door. After walking for half an hour, he reached the Note, a fancy restaurant that had been really expensive, but amazing food, every classy wine he could think of, and every fancy socialite in the city wanted to eat there. He walked around the back of the building and went into the back door. He passed the cooks in the kitchen, made his way to the front of the house, and turned on the lights. The shine off the glasses and silverware stunned him a little bit, but his eyes adjusted. He then dropped his bags off in a small closet where they put the extra tablecloths, and walked into one of the computer terminals they used to put the customers' orders in to clock in. "Nice to see you finally show up," a voice said. He turned around to see the other server, Jacob, standing there with his arms crossed. "You're lucky if Mr. Foster isn't here. You'd be in trouble." "Well, it's a good thing you're here to help me out then," Ryder replied, jokingly as he walked to the server station and grabbed his vest. "How many reservations do we have tonight?" "7. All parties of 6, Jacob said. Ryder groaned as he buttoned his vest and adjusted his tie. "Hey, did you hear about last night?" Ryder shook his head. "That Red Wing guy helped the police with a huge bust last night. It was awesome," he said excitedly. Ryder chuckled. "Red Wing? You mean that loser who plays superhero?" "I think it's pretty cool what he does. Those purple dragons have become a huge problem lately, and he seems to be the only one who can stop them," Jacob replied, a little annoyed. Okay, calm down, man. Let's get ready for tonight. We open in an hour," he replied. At around 10:30, Ryder walked out the back door with his bags and about $415 in cash and headed down to the street where he reached an alley whose fire escape was pulled down. He then climbed his way up to the roof and saw a little shed on top. He walked up to it, unlocked the door. It had nothing but empty shelves on it. He then sat his gear down, opened his duffel bag, and changed into his Red Wing outfit. He then threw the duffel bag onto one of the shelves and walked out of the shed, remembering to lock it, and started his nightly patrol. After an hour surveying the city, he couldn't find anything, so he made his way back to the shed to grab his stuff. "I hate slow nights," he said as he grabbed his bag and locked the door. "It usually means they're planning something." He put on his headphones and started to play some music as he walked back, and then started to sing one of the songs to himself, and then ran back home. When he reached the warehouse, he dropped the duffel bag onto the table and pulled out his shoes, shirt, pants, ties, everything, leaving the belt and shoes in his bag, and then started to think about heading to the laundromat tomorrow before his thoughts were interrupted by the sound of shattering glass. He whipped his head around to see something crashing through one of the windows of the warehouse and slamming onto the ground. He pulled out his headphones and ran up to the figure. He looked down to see that it looked like Mikey. "No way," he said as he looked at the body sprawled on the ground. He stared at it for a few seconds and saw that it wasn't moving. "Shit!" He then grabbed his arms and dragged his body over to the table. He cleared all the stuff off, picked him up, and laid him onto it. He then saw it wore an orange mask. "Hold on, Mikey," he said as he did the turtle and ran upstairs, searched for the cupboard in the bathroom, and came out with a little red box. He hurried back downstairs and set the box onto the table, pulling out a brown bottle and some bandages, and started to treat his wounds. He had some cuts and bruises on his arms, and one huge gash in his leg, but Ryder was able to stop the bleeding and was able to wrap him up when he heard something buzzing. He looked around to see where it was coming from, but he had no luck. He then looked down at Mikey and saw it was coming from him, so he reached into the belt he wore and pulled out a weird shell-looking thing. On its screen, it showed a picture of another turtle, but it wore a blue mask, and the description said Leo. He hit the answer button and held up to his ear. "About time! I've called you like 5 times. Where are you?" a voice yelled through the phone. "In a warehouse by the docks," Ryder replied. The other end became quiet. He pulled the phone away from his face. The call was still connected. He held it back up to his ear. "Hello?" he asked. "Who is this? What have you done with Mikey?" the voice screamed in the phone. "Calm down. He's fine." He looked down at the knockdown turtle. "He crashed through my window of the warehouse and hit the ground pretty hard. He had some cuts on him and a huge gash on his leg, but I patched him up." The other end went quiet again. "Look, he's here with me at a warehouse by the docks. It's the only one with the lights on. I'll keep an eye on him until he wakes up, okay?" Ryder said into the phone. There was a pause. "We're on the way. And for your sake, he better be okay," the voice said sternly into the phone. The call was then disconnected. He He then placed the phone back on the table and grabbed Mikey's arms and pulled him off of the table and hoisted him onto his back. "All right," he said as he strained to hold the turtle on him. "Let's get you upstairs to rest."